Morning. It's August 22nd, and I was watering some of my plants this morning, and I found a Yukon Gold potato that I had planted in a cup that had sprouted. And it's a little late in the season to be trying to plant these guys here in Zone 5. They're a 90-day potato, but I've got a container, and it's the plant itself is sprouted above ground, so I'm going to give it a try. If it gets really cold, I can move this container up on my porch. And what I have here is a partial bag of Pro Mix, and right beside of it in the little blue container is the dirt that came out of the pot. This is soil that I'm going to reuse, but I'm going to amend it and mix it with Pro Mix. And in the yellow bag, that's actually mulch that I had from last year that I bagged up, tied it up really nice and tight, and set it in the sun for a year, and it's broken down into a really black, dark, rich compost. And then we have some mulch that we picked up this year that's composting down. So I mixed them all together. I put like a third of the Pro Mix, actually I just emptied the bag, a third of the native soil that was in there, the dark black soil that's in the second container here, and then we mixed it in this one with the probably about a third of the compost from the mulch we composted in the bag. We just left setting for a year, and it's turned from this to this. You can see the color change. This is nice and dark and black, still airy, and this is composted mulch that we get from our local it's a place probably about 15 minutes from here. Our city, every year they pick up the leaves and the trees and wood that you can sit at the curb, and they grind it up into a mulch, and then they let it sit there and compost down. Well, this is broken down mulch. They give it to us free. We actually, in my county, in our water bill, we pay for every month we pay for limb debris hauling off. So basically they're giving us a little bit of our mulch back for the money that we pay a monthly charge on. So I've mixed it all together in the container, and I'm going to use some organic tomato and vegetable fertilizer. This is a low nitrogen because we want to grow potatoes, not potato leaves. It's a 364. It's organic. It's basically just bone meal, blood meal, and let's see, maybe some worm castings in here. I'm not sure. It says, well, it's really hard for me to read without my glasses on. Okay, here we go. It's got calcium, magnesium, sulfate of potash, phosphate, and it's derived from composted poultry, litter, feather meal, bone meal, sulfate of potash. So it's as organic as I can buy. I'll show you what it looks like. It's not a man-made synthetic blend, and it smells like bone meal and blood meal. So we're going to mix that with a little bit of sulfur, a little bit of fast-acting sulfur. Potatoes like sulfur in the mix. They like a little lower pH. So we're going to add this in here too and plant this plant and see if we get anything before December gets here. Okay, that's pretty good. A little bit of sulfur, just a little bit, not much. A little bit of this organic fertilizer, probably less than a handful, you know, something like that. Maybe a little more. Probably a half a cup. This thing is so root bound, I'm gonna have to just tear the cup apart because it ain't gonna come out of here. Let's see if you can see that. So it's got some nice roots on it. We're gonna plant it in there and see what we get. Now, when I transplant potato seedlings like that, a lot of times you can just bury the whole thing and cover it with several inches of soil, and it'll come right back up through the soil. I do this every year with some of the ones that we start out early in the spring, and then most of the potatoes we just sprout out under lights inside and plant the whole thing. But these were extra and I had no room for them, so I stuck them in a cup and they sprouted. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna leave these above ground because we don't have, it's the 23rd of August, so it's a 30-day or a 90-day potato, 90 to 100. So we'll be close. Usually our frost comes in about the 1st of November, but like I say, in this container I can put it up on the porch and kind of keep it out of the frost. And what I'll do is I'll just top this planter off with some of this mulch we got from the city this year, and you can see it's not like a real hard chunky mulch. It's already composting down, so we'll top it off with this. Now what I'll do is water it in pretty good, and we'll get it in the sun. And if I can get this tablet out of here without cutting the video off, that's about what we're looking like. That's the soil we started with. We added some Pro Mix, about a third of Pro Mix, about a third of the soil that was in the container that I grew some beets in. Here's our 1-year-old composted mulch, and then here's mulch that we picked up this year to top this guy off with, and we added a little bit of fertilizer and a little bit of sulfur. So there we go. We're gonna see, get a little better shot of it. We're gonna see if this guy does anything, and if it don't make it, we're not hurt. I was gonna have to do something with this plant anyway, or throw it in the garbage. So we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching.